that looks perfect. We'll find out how it sounds. All right, so I was just on about it. What we're doing here is, I haven't got a name for it yet. A to Z with the EME. I need it.
That's an interesting one.
No, I need it. No, that's not. I need a name.
I'll have to think.
Obviously, that's just the first thing I fucking.
So I mean, are we gonna like host and talk as though we're doing a chat show sort of thing?
Yeah.
Or are we?
We just got the camera on in there. It's Eddie and Josh, and Emerse Big Josh, and Luke Edmund, Joshua Benjamin, whatever you want.
We're gonna talk about words and language. If I had an alias, I always thought, what I would have, because this is Emerse, just so you know. This is MC Emerse as well. That's an important part of it. But I think if I was gonna have, I think I would be Deep Law.
Deep Law.
Deep Law. That's my. If I was gonna, because I love lore, man. I love like stories. I love the stuff in the background. I play Skyrim.
Yeah.
I read the books.
All right. Okay. What like?
They're real books. You can open them up on the table. Some of them are like.
So you know how you got to get down in the
24-page books. Like you get backstory. It's deep lore.
Deep.
That would be my thing. Yeah.
Deep Law.
But anyway.
Fucking hell.
Moving forward.
Deep Law. I'm pretty sure they're into Deep Law. I do think you just killed it there. I think you killed it there, right?
So,
do you want to try explain the format?
So what we're gonna do is, we've got a dictionary. We are gonna read a word to each other, and the other person is going to attempt to define it before we actually read the definition. So a bit like Boulder Dash for Dummies, because we're not using real complex words. We're using all the words. We will get to some complex words. If you don't know, you must announce that you do not know. You can make an attempt, you can make a botch, but I think I don't know will humble you as much as making an attempt that made you look like a fool ever could. So, if you don't know, I don't know.
See, alright, respect. So I'm going to pass that over to Josh, and I'm going to let him go in with it and that. And we're here to promote literature, innit? You know what I mean? We're here for the culture of literature, do you get me? It's all about the words, yeah. People using the words really poorly and people getting confused. I'm not on the social media, I'm not on the socials, right? And sometimes I use words, right? And people are questioning the way I'm using my words. And I'm just not part of what's going on, yeah. And I just do everything in the best faith possible. And yeah, certain people I would never have expected to question me have been questioning me, and I'm appalled.
Now, just clarify, because I've questioned you on many occasions here, and
just
to put this into a tangible thing.
Could be, I'm not.
You really do have a really abstract sometimes understanding of certain words. So you use the word faith there. You also and I've heard you talk on God on occasion, which I mean you're more of a theologian than many I know. You're certainly a spiritual being, but yeah, your understanding of God is very different to a traditional understanding of God. Don't get me wrong, there are plenty of people out there that probably do think along the lines that you do, but it isn't what you read in the Bible for a start. So that's a big one. That's a big difference. The word God does not mean the same thing, I don't think, to you than it does to a lot of people.
Perfect. Yeah, so that's wicked, yeah, because this gets to the crux of the thing, yeah. Like, people assume what I mean by my words, yeah. And why... So check it out, like, the English language is literally constraining your thought. Is that what you're telling me? Yeah, because you just think about these words literally. Not you, like, fucking,
No.
And I'm fucking... So because
people as a whole, I see it on a day-to-day basis. We are trapped by our semantics quite often. You find there's no need to frame things as negatively as the British language forces us to on many occasions. You can use it really beautifully as well, but damn, we're good at using it really badly.
It's the language of empire, isn't it? English is the language of empire, and I think never forget that. It's been forged by power, control, fucking...
I was going to say, so you know speaking of which, this is an After Dark show.
Yeah.
Because I was going to mention that at a point as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and so it just... recently my mate wants me to go to Brazil, innit, Randall wants me to go to Brazil and that, you know what I mean? I don't think I'm going to do it. It's fucked up in that, but...
No, which I'm repping as the best choice for it to make.
Everyone knows I should be in Brazil and that, you know what I mean? But more important than that, Brazilian Portuguese is really a language I connect with the rhythm of. Like, yeah, I really connect with the rhythm of those people speaking, yeah. When I watch Brazilian films, I'm like, oh shit, there's something about that that's really me. So who would I be if I had the Brazilian Portuguese vocabulary as an entirely different person? So I'd like to try to think outside of the constraints of that the English language provides me with, and even more than that, I recognise that every single thought that shapes me, all these words in my mind that I tell myself I am this and do, well, they're all words that were made by someone else. They're all made, like, this existed before I existed, you know what I mean? But the human soul existed before all this language shit, you know what I mean? Like, so there's something deeper in it. It's like, if you don't have language, do you not feel? You know what I mean? Like, all the feelings are there, and the expression's something amazing in it, and it's beautiful, but there's also just something beautiful just about being totally simple. You know, simplicity is the highest form of sophistication, and just knowing what you need to know, not knowing beyond that, just really knowing yourself really good. And the intellect sort of dominated our age in it, and that's sort of like the problem with the world.
It's very true. It's so easy to overthink, and there's a lot.
And overthink, and that's literally it, yeah, because this is what I think what happens with mankind, and yeah, we get to the truth, yeah, but then time just takes us beyond it. We get bored with the truth, and we have to move past it. Yeah. Novelty, we're obsessed with novelty, innit? You know what I mean?
There is always something new.
New iPhone 7000. You know what I mean?
It's important.
I'm looking around for a Nokia.
It's important to look for new stimulation, though, but it's also important to have certain traditions and existing
and value what you've got. Yeah, a lot of these people who don't value it, you know what I mean? Like, you know, all these rare earth metals been taken out for your iPhone and that, but you've got to get the next model because your camera needs to be better, because you need to be seen and clearer more. You know what I mean? Just wait a year, just wait another year, just do it every other year or something, you know what I mean? Like, anything, please. Like, obsolescence is killing the planet, right?
So let's be back to the rare metals for a second. We're not going to be able to travel space because we put it all into mobile phones. But anyway, that's like crazy, isn't it? Like,
crazy.
We could be seeing the planets, but let's, make sure everyone can know where everyone is at any time, just because it's, baffling.
Because it's the next thing to do.
We lived without it for so long. There's no need for it. In the grand scheme of things, there's absolutely no. It's handy. But like when you think about it, one person could have a mobile phone for 10 people, and sort of you could just take the responsibility that you have a phone. So if anyone around you needs to make a phone call, you're the phone marshal, and then no one would need to spend like 30 grand for one iPhone. You could just have one iPhone instead of having 30 of them, sort of thing.
Yeah,
but anyway, that would require us all to communicate regularly and just have faith in our fellow man, and be nice all the time. It'd be a bit. Nice. Oh, what happened if a phone marshal had a bad day, eh? Do you think anyone would put him back on course that day and be nice to him?
Phone marshal. That's it.
We're coming up with ideas already. We might change the world here. Phone marshal.
Yeah, boom. There we go.
Stop buying your phones. Just be nice and lend people it.
There you go. Love it.
And then don't make unnecessary phone calls, because you're a fan of that one. You're a major fan of that one. Yeah.
Opposite way around, right? Opposite way around. I'm the hater on the unnecessary phone calls.
That's what. Yeah, that's what I mean.
I just had to be clear about that.
Yeah. That's exactly what I meant.
So yeah, check it out. What have we got? Did you load up a word or what? No.
Well, I thought we were just going to go through A to Z, so to speak. So
I thought that's what we were going to do, but then when I asked you to explain the format, you said your idea, innit? Which is a sick idea.
Yeah, but still just go through as you. Okay, or are you more into randomising it and picking out?
No. Listen. So this is what we're doing, yeah, right? Every single episode we do, yeah, because we need to explain it super quick and that, yeah. So we're gonna do this other idea. Do you remember he said in that he's gonna pick out the word and we're gonna challenge each other with the vocab. We're gonna be like vocab battling. See who's got the biggest vocabulary, yeah.
We need a
rule.
Hilariously, though.
You've got it's like 5-letter words. You're only allowed so much of 6, 7,
I was literally going to go with your format,
right,
of just going through the dictionary.
Oh, but on A, just look for some words and test.
No, on A, I was literally going to go. So it's just instead of like us just reading it and reading a definition, we read our interpretation. one of us gives our interpretation of the word before.
But how are we
read the
selecting
definition.
it?
So
Every
just
single one?
Just go for why not?
Well, so this is what I
I know
thought.
it's a mammoth like thing, but
This is what I thought we'd do. Yeah, we just
because how can you
So
pick
on A.
words? How can you pick words?
because you just go sequentially. Yeah, but I think it's like we're just gonna read them all out.
You were gonna say that some words have more value than others.
Well, that's exactly what we're gonna determine now by which ones we pay attention to and decide to talk about.
Okay.
That's going to determine the value. So it's a completely how to say, you know, everyone gets a chance in it, yeah, because we read every single word, but which ones are we going to pay attention to and why? That's what's interesting about it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Joe, don't bother with the definitions for it. How about we just start reading them then, and maybe the other person defines when they want to.
Yeah.
Does that sound?
So what? Right? Yeah. So I'll do a page, then you do a page. I'll do a page, you do a page, and then you read the words, and I get to stop you. If I'm reading the words, you get to stop me. Now, because if I want to say something, I got to be able to say it, right?
No, that's fine. Yeah, you can still.
So yeah, but I'm
Surely.
gonna read a page, then you're gonna read a page.
Yeah.
And then, but I get to look at the definitions. That's it. So it's interesting because I get to look at all these little bits, like word history right there. First people to wear anoraks were Eskimos, but I can't say that if I'm not looking at it, right? So you get a bit more. You get a bit more power when the dictionary's in your hand or something,
That
You've got
true.
more resources.
But,
I don't know. It's just another dimension on it.
No, I think it's not about what's in the definitions there. That's more for the rebuttal.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
It's about what you think you want to talk about, isn't it?
Oh
So-
right. No. So check it
So
out.
you just go through the words and I'll.
On every page, I've got to try Mercury. Yeah. I've got to pick a word out here that you can't define. Yeah?
Okay.
So every time we pass it over, that's a min little... And then we can start coming up with loads of them and that. And maybe one time I battle you on a definition, maybe another time I battle you on a...
Oh, okay. How about
Can
that?
you come up with a synonym
Right.
for it or whatever?
So
you know
what if
I mean?
we just read a word? So instead of making it boring and like having, because you don't want to take the time to do that, we're on camera. So what we do is go from the start of the page, read the word. When you read one that you want the person to define, just say this one.
All
actually.
right, okay, yeah.
So you got you and then the other person can say, oh, no, I want to define that one because
Alright.
I'm interested in that one.
Okay.
But when you get to the one that you want to, and I'll be there like, oh, no, don't pick that one. You go, yeah, that one.
Damn.
Is that fair?
All right, okay, cool. And maybe I just yeah. So that's really sick and specific. But maybe I just want to hear what you've got to say about a certain word.
Yeah, that's
maybe
fine.
it's just amusing. I'm like, listen, I want you to talk about fucking, anomaly. Whatever.
But you only get one of those a page.
Uh,
Like, when you get to it, you got to sort of
if you think it's
unless it's
imagine
got
if
weight.
Yeah, if it's got weight and there's pick out as many as you want, right? For whatever reason, but
But we could
these
get
are the
absorbed in
themes. These are the themes. Sometimes you want someone to speak about something. Sometimes you want to tell a story about something. Sometimes you want to challenge the person on something. Sometimes
Okay.
and I don't know. Maybe
So we're talking like challenge. So define or discuss.
Oh, now we're rocking. Define or discuss. Sick. That's fucking tight. Define or discuss. Nice. And then we can.
So defines the challenge, discuss is just riff.
Yeah, fucking see. I like it. Awesome. Cool. It's coming together. All right. So, listen. Anno Domini, right? I might have said Amino Domini by mistake.
Why?
I don't know why.
I love Anno Domini, the year of our
Amino,
Lord.
why would I want to say
That's-
Amino at the beginning?
Don't challenge me that. The year of our Lord, right?
Yeah. Boom. Word for word. Yeah. Annotate, right? Annotate. I was just on about. I got this copy of fucking. What am I reading? I've forgotten. What am I reading? The Faust and the Sons of Bitches. Yeah, I got it from the library and they've annotated out of it, and I hate it. It ruins the lyrical flow of the words. I'm trying to read the lyrical flow of the words in the annotations. Like block my psyche as I'm doing it, and it's really frustrating. Really frustrating. And that's what I'm announcing right now. Yeah. So right now I'm looking like a bit of an announcer. Yeah. A person who introduces programs on radio or television. Yeah. But we announce and then we're going, right. And maybe I'm annoying you right now with what I'm talking about, but that's fine. Yeah. Annual. Yeah. The school's asking for photo ID for me right now. Yeah. For that annual safeguarding bullshit, yeah? I've been there for 7 years. And they give me no warning about it. I don't have photo ID. They ain't give me a warning, you know what I mean?
It's better than
And
annual.
I know it's 2024 and that, but come
better
on.
than annual interest and annual.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I think of. I think per annum, I'm only going to get a tiny amount of money. I'll have to pay loads back on my mortgage.
Oh, man. Yeah. Annualise. Annuity. Annuity. Yeah, so go on. I'm going to challenge you on that.
Ah, he's got me. He knows.
I'm going to challenge you on that. ANNUITY. And you can have annuities, plural.
Do you know what? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I was gonna. I would be playing Balderdash if I.
So, you know, Guy was just
to say anything.
Guy was just talking. Hey, Guy was just talking about a mortgage in it. So I thought he might understand the concept of a fixed sum payable at specified intervals over a period.
A fixed sum payable at specified intervals over a period, kind of like my mortgage. Very annoying. Thank you.
Yeah, but let's hope no one comes on and annuls your mortgage, because that'd be really bad news, wouldn't it?
I mean, if it was annulled, it'd just be like it never happened. So it might be brilliant.
Oh, watch out. Yeah.
Not a messy divorce.
Annular then. Annular. What does annular mean? Because that's really interesting. This is an amazing word, annular. Now that I think about it, I was trying to figure out the breakdown of the word and that. I need to find out that word and that. What is it?
Annular.
Not like etymology and that, but you know the whatever. Annular. So annular means ring shaped.
What?
Ring shaped.
Oh.
But we're talking about annual, aren't we? We're talking about the cycle of a year. And what we're talking about is 365 days. And 365 days to the year and 360 degrees to a circle has always really tripped me out.
And I just have a look at these.
Listen to my craziest theory of all time, yeah, but it's my best theory of all time. It's the crazy. This is as far out as Emerse will ever get, yeah, because I don't like that far out shit, yeah. Listen to this. You look at the moon and you see how it's been blasted with asteroids and that so many times, yeah. It's been hit with a million things, right? Whatever. And the Earth has too, yeah, and we know this, you know, killed the dinosaurs, all this, that, rah, rah, rah. But what about if the shape of these celestial objects were a bit different when life was first created? And what if life was first created when the Earth went around the sun and it took 360 days? And what if there was something just a little more mystical in that time, or something, and the energy was different and provided for a different life or something, and that's the Garden of Eden, like, or some shit, I don't know. You know what I mean? Maybe there was a resonant energy when the Earth took 360 days to go around the sun. That was just something very, very special. I don't know. It's just my craziest theory ever.
That's an interesting...
It just trips you out though, innit? And now that's
what?
telling you ring-shaped, annular. And we're talking about annual, we're talking about a year, we're talking about a lap. We're talking about the Earth going around the fucking sun in a ring.
I mean,
annular.
Personally...
Orbit.
Given the very small time that human beings have been on the planet and the fact that we don't really understand... Well, the fact that every time we think we understand something so far in terms of science and we think we come to an absolute, we then reach another point in the future where we realise that everything we knew up until that point was absolutely bollocks. So, bearing that in mind and the fact that we've only been in existence for a fraction... And I was looking at my kid has a dinosaur encyclopedia. And I was looking at that today. It was saying like a Stegosaurus and a T-Rex would never have met because they were alive millions of years apart, right? And it made me think, where's our millions of years? We ain't got 1 million of years as a species, have we?
Right.
Far from it. Like, where's our millions of, you know? Because when you think that a Stegosaurus and a T-Rex, and it was like hundreds of millions of years. Like you've got the Mesozoic period, the Jurassic period, the Cretaceous period. You've got huge spans of time, like that these living creatures were alive over, and we've dated that with that's all like carbon dated, isn't it? So we know that in terms of science, but as humans we actually know very, very little in the grand scheme of things. So yeah, it's quite possible that when the Earth was created and that sort of thing, isn't there?
there's just
In
some.
the grand scheme of things, that something was different. We know nothing. We know nothing in the grand scheme of things. Is the summary.
And one of the deepest symbols in the world is a swastika, yeah? And the swastika is so important because the swastika is actually a square, but it's not, it's 4 squares, yeah, which is like a truer square, yeah? Because it's 4 of them, 4-sided object, and you make 4 of them, it's like a truer version of itself. And then you take a line off each side, yeah, and that implies directionality. That's when it starts looking like a swastika. That implies directionality, and when you turn it around, what does it do? It makes a perfect circle. Right angles, yeah. People just think past this, yeah. They don't realise how important that is and fundamental that is to our existence and everything we build and know and enjoy. Anyway, whatever. And gymnastics, mate, you know, about turning, about facing the right way, yeah. About being directly opposite from where you just started. It's right angles.
Well, it is interesting that
loads of exercise
was-
of identifying right angles. Our body's actually physically working right angles a lot of the time.
Is
Our
this what
joints
we're
do.
getting
It's
to?
weird.
Because it is interesting that it was actually originally a symbol of peace. It was a Hindu symbol, wasn't it? And it's reversed, and then
It's
that's
everyone's symbol.
It's been.
It was symbols before the Hindu. That symbol will have existed since forever. That is one of the most important fundamental. It's the most important fundamental symbol there is. Yeah, that's all I'm telling you. And there's a reason those fucking idiots took it. And I wrote the bar about it. Yeah, the symbol is a secret. Don't let those Nazis keep it. Used across time by diverse races, hijacked by a gang of racists. You know what I mean? Don't let them keep the secret, yeah? Unleash it. You know, all those old school kung fu films, everyone's got the swastika on them and that. People thought it was... It's that thing about context and that, you know what I mean? How can you take my symbol to mean some Nazi shit? Why would... You'd look at me walking down the street like this, yeah, with a swastika on my back and think I was on some Nazi tip.
Well, yeah, you would.
Some idiot would.
No, but but that's the thing. This is where me and your perspective differs, which is quite an interesting thing here, because you would say some idiot would, but I live in a world which is, I feel, closer to the TV munching masses, and I know that the majority of people would probably believe that of you. To be without, they would at least want to give you some sort of provocation for you then to disprove it to them. They would not let it lie. They would not. Do you know what I mean? Because of how, because because just wearing that symbol is asking for conflict, because of how bad the PR campaign surrounding it was.
Yeah, and so it's just one of those things that we don't really think too well about. It's like something we don't really think well about, and that's why I decided to give it my attention and think about it and figure out what's going on there. And then what did I discover? Like, this thing that's so taboo is so important. Someone's got to do something about it.
Well, this is my discovery of that, so we might have to have a further chat on that at some point in the future.
Sick guy, we'll come back to it fresh. Yeah, so where we're at, annular. So annular eclipse, yeah, okay, boring. Annulate, composed of March with rings. Annulate, sorry, annulate. Annulment, annunciation, or what?
Enunciation, enunciate. I really must enunciate. I like enunciation.
Now this is like the announcement by the angel Gabriel to the Virgin Mary of a conception of Christ, or the festival commemorating this.
Whoa.
Am I saying it wrong? I'm saying it wrong.
No. Annunciation, right? The Annunciation. The announcement by the angel Gabriel to the Virgin Mary of her conception of Christ. You know, you have a baby in your tummy and you did not make love to make it.
Yeah.
The festival commencing on this day. See, I never even really... I feel like now that I read it, I can draw reference to my Catholic upbringing, and the Annunciation seems like, yeah, of course, that was what it was called.
Right, yeah.
But I wouldn't have thought that. When I think of Annunciation, I think of speaking properly and enunciating your words, making sure each sound comes out as was intended within the now King's English again, is it?
Okay. Shit. 2024. Oh my god. A nerd. Boring. Anodize. Anodyne. Anodyne. Something that relieves pain or distress. Neutral. Capable of relieving pain or distress. Greek an without dying pain. Anodyne. It's quite nice, anodyne. I'd like to try be anodyne in the world.
Anodyne, something that really.
Emerse the anodyne. Anodyne zenith. Oh, we're matching up nice words in that.
Okay, yeah, there should be more anodyne. But people should aspire
That's what we're doing now.
to, yeah,
That's literally what we're doing now. This is the purpose in that. Cause
to be anodyne.
people are just getting wrapped up in language wrong, and we're just trying to anodyne it out, right?
It's an adjective. I don't see it used in a sentence, really, to be honest. But
Yeah. It's just want some noun tiff.
neutral's interesting though, because how are those two things the same?
Because if you just feel neutral, you'll feel fine in it.
Oh, okay.
In heaven, everything is fine.
Yeah, like
in heaven.
neutral in a car's idling. So
It's neutral. PH7, I'm neutral. Not really fussed, I'm neutral. Out of the game, I'm neutral. Oh dear. So, anoint, smear of oil. Anointing the sick. Anomalous. Different from the normal or usual order or type. That's definitely moi.
I like a good anomaly as well. I'll say. Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm not
man.
allowed to read the words at this
No,
point.
no. You got it. Anomaly.
Just love. Yeah, that's like how every good thing starts with an anomaly, really. Like, yeah. But then that's like that. But then not always good things start with anomalies as well. Let's be honest. But yeah.
Yeah. It's like you go through it's just the day to day, the routine, and then boom, you've got the anomaly, and then it tends to fragment, right? And we're doing some other thing today now. Oh, what am I doing? I'm in Sheffield for some reason. Haha. Yeah.
I think more important is though you should always pay attention to anomalies. That's the one. Scientifically, especially, like don't all this nowadays. I feel like a lot of people do an experiment and they want it to suit their needs, so they would like be like, oh, that's just an anomaly. Don't worry about it. The rest of the experiment worked fine. No. Everyone should really pay attention to that's what matters, right? If you do an experiment and one time it doesn't work, you need to know exactly why it doesn't work. You can't just say that was an anomaly. I feel like that's how that word is used quite often nowadays, and it's a little bit dangerous. We should pay attention to anomalies.
It's a brush sweeping shit under the rug. That word, right? Yeah. So check, this is mint. What's this? Like, anomie, lack of social or moral standards. It's like a Greek word. Anomie.
That's surplus to requirements in the modern era, isn't it?
Watch out.
Anomie, lack of social or moral standards.
So anyway, we got anon. You know what I mean? Anon.
Is that a noun as well?
Oh, what's this? Old-fashioned or informal? Soon.
So you could
Just
accuse
soon.
someone instead of calling someone like a,
I'm gonna see you anon.
call you an anomie. You could like if someone's like like people say like, oh, you. People say you're a pagan and things like that. You could be like, you're an anomie. You fucking anomie.
Wow.
Fucking anomie. You stupid anomie.
It's a hell of an accusation. Wow. An enemy. Wow. Lack of moral standards. I like it. Yeah. Anonymise. Yeah, it's gone. Forget about it. I don't know what them things are. Yeah, I know you can get Netflix from Saudi Arabia and that or something. But you tell them you're in another country so you can watch that Netflix or something. Yeah, but then what we're trying to say, the VPNs, the bollocks. Listen, you don't think the government's watching you? You think the VPN's getting you? Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, but it might let me watch
the people download
the new show on Amazon that I can't watch because the BBC have a deal with Amazon with the show. So
it's that
it's
shit,
not
yeah.
licensed in the UK,
but
it's everywhere else. So if I just can set my VPN to US.
But don't people like download loads of shit and they think they got the VPN, they think they're getting away with it and that?
Well, I think the key is you have to research your VPN because there are real VPNs, but you have to
not from the government.
But that's what it is, isn't it? You have to know who is the owner of the VPN, because if the owner of the VPN is the government, or the owner of the VPN is an organisation that is effectively, whereas if it's a private thing and it isn't, then that would be fine, right?
No.
Why?
No.
You act like no one can have a server that isn't like, bad. I like to live in a world where I believe that there are good people that have a stack of servers, and that's why media and information is relatively free, even though it's highly controlled.
Listen, I hope so. I hope so. I hope so. I don't know.
Well, if this gets out there, like, otherwise, why are we making the show? It's just gonna go in the bin. Your YouTube channel is just gonna get like ripped in half as soon as it goes.
I ain't worried about that. I ain't worried about
Anyway,
yo, so Anonymous, yeah, I'm just saying, like, you know, there's very little anonymity left in the world, you know what I mean? Like, it's funny, like, yeah. Anyway, oh, yeah, something that I want to say about that, yeah, they take it away from the internet, and I thought it was always interesting, like, people had pen names back in the day, innit? People that wanted to say controversial things wrote under the name of, they had a different name for the authorship of, like, controversial
nom de
ideas.
plume. It's a pen name, right?
Yeah, alright, okay.
So it's just a different way of saying it.
Yeah. See,
A nom de plume. But yeah, no, there was a guy.
you're not gonna be able to have them soon, right?
Did you give me that book? You gave me that book. Alone in Berlin.
Yeah, mate, it's amazing.
And that was written under his nom de plume.
Yeah.
Because he killed his jewel. It was supposed to be a suicide pact, but framed as a jewel, and it went wrong, and he killed his.
Can't remember.
So the book had to be written under a nom de plume because he killed his childhood friend.
Right. Okay.
Basically, in a duel, which it wasn't really a duel. It was supposed to be a suicide pact, but only one of them got the right shot. Very interesting. What was it? Who? Oh, I wish I had the book to hand. Though. The author was worth. It was worth.
Is it Hans Reich, right?
No, that doesn't sound.
Is
right.
that Berlin Finale?
Hans Verlade.
Hans Verlade. Alone in Berlin, yeah.
Alone in Berlin.
Hans Reich, Berlin Finale. Two very similar books, wrote at a similar time. You want to read that post-war literature from Germany? Read the post-war literature from Germany. You want to know about the truth of the war? Read the post-war literature from Germany. It's the power of literature. Is what we're talking about.
But not just for that. Good to read. Good to know, like. People's it was that book was so engaging because it was all about people and their feelings and what makes people tick basically and what pressures and what how
it was stunning.
It was amazing.
Stunning book.
And my gran read it as well, you know.
Oh,
give it to my gran after she loved it.
See, this is what I'm talking about. You pass the book to someone, goes to someone else, like, this is it, you know what I mean? Pass the books around, man. That's fucking awesome. That is fucking awesome. Yes, I'll try to get to the end of the page pretty quick so you can grab this. Anorexia, another.
Can I just come in on anorak?
Oh yeah.
Pedo. Anyway.
Answerable, answer back, answering machine. What we're saying, answer. You know what I mean? Answer. No, I can't just glide over answer. Yeah. Yeah, I can. And listen, the ant. Remember? Did you see Old Boy?
I feel bad now because I didn't, and I feel like I should. I've heard really good things.
Yeah, so it's funny because I know that I can remember that film came out in 2003, and I know I was waiting for it, and I was born in '99. I was waiting for that film to come out. The sort of kid I was waiting for Old Boy to come out. You know what I mean? And Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance is insane. A morality tale. Anyway, we need to move on. So, the person sees an ant in a dream, yeah, because they're lonely. They see the ant because they're lonely, innit? Because like the ant's the symbol of colony, you know what I mean? Of like the hive, like the bees and that. And yeah, man, the ant is a powerful animal, right? Literally.
Hey, for its size, yeah, we take it for granted because we just squish it. But like, yeah, if an ant was our size, man, run.
Yeah, man, those things move the earth around, yeah.
And when you see him carrying something, and it's just like the thing is, it's like there's a crisp moving on the floor, and you're like, what the fuck? There's a crisp just moving on the floor. One ant underneath that crisp. One ant like carrying the world. Atlas
ants, right? Yeah, man. There we go. Yeah, antacid, boring. Antagonism, antagonist, antagonize. It's a good word, in antagonize, really. You're fucking antagonizing me, man. Fucking, it's a good word. Antagonize it. Fucking antagonize. You know, it's got that.
I like antagonists as well. I feel like the world. I don't know. The world. The people shouldn't be afraid of being an antagonist. Like be the momentum in a story. Be the momentum in someone's story. You know, there's nothing wrong with being an antagonist. Antagonists can be good.
Fresh. I like it. Yeah, so, what's this? Antalkali. Oh, right, okay. Antalkali is something that neutralises it, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Antacid, antalkali, yeah, I've got it, cool. Antarctica, yo. Is it Antarctica? No, it was... was that Antarctica? Was it Antarctica? Yeah, I think it was Antarctica, right? That Werner Herzog documentary, that End of the World or something, yeah? And there's this penguin, and it's on its own, yeah? And it just runs off into nowhere, yeah, and it's going to die blatantly. And it's like just gone mad, yeah? And I wrote a bar about it, Werner Herzog's penguin and that, going mad like Werner Herzog's penguin or something. It's just this amazing scene in this documentary, yeah? And
Why is it on its own?
He's just gone mad. And he just left the colony, yeah? And he's just flapping out and he's seeing it's just going into the barren wastes of the inner land, you know, away from the water. He's just walking in a straight line, just going off. And
To go and die.
He's just gonna die, yeah. And it's fucking one of the most amazing moments ever. Werner Herzog's the guy. Anti, so I'm gonna tell you about this because I was telling the kids about the anterior body, yeah, the muscles, like in a dish in gymnastics, yeah, the muscles in your front of your body use all the anterior muscles in a dish, and when you're arching, you use all the posterior muscles, yeah. I don't say posterior, I say posterior, yeah, because posterior is, or posterior sounds like posture. It's the same opening syllable, innit? So I relate posture to the posterior, yeah,
Okay.
because it's the muscles in your back that pull you into good posture. You know, it doesn't tend to be the muscles in the front you've got to think about. That's why I like relating those words together. So I asked the kids, I know they're not going to tell me, I'm like, do you know what anterior means? Yeah, these for 10 and 8 year olds, yeah, do you know what anterior means and that? And but the kid says, well, I know what interior means. And I'm like, you got it, kid, interior. Yeah, and I said, yeah, interior, exterior, yeah, inside, outside, but then you can have front and back, and I told them what it was. And then you've got superior and inferior, you know, above and below, you know, and that's used like in anatomical language law, so I'm just lighting up these kids' brains with all this, you know, it's mint. Yeah, it's terrible when I said post, because I only could think about, like, post-war, post-apocalyptic, post-surgery, like, it was all those of terrible things. I was struggling which one to pick and come out with.
Postnatal.
Postnatal, I just try not to speak about that with the kids as well.
Okay.
You know. Anteater, moving swiftly on. Anteater, antedescendant. Yeah.
What, antedescendant?
Yeah. An event or circumstance that happens or exists before another. A word or phrase which is a relative pronoun such as who.
Antecedent.
How do you say it?
Antecedent. No.
Antecedent.
Antecedent.
Antecedent. I don't know. Shall I turn it over? There we go. We got what?
Bringing the words to the people.
Oh, I can relax. We've gone 40 minutes on one page. This is going to be ridiculous.
Right.
We're never going to get through, eh?
Oh, okay. Yeah, antecedents. Antechamber.
So you read that in Russian novels all the time. Everyone's always waiting in that damn antechamber.
Antechamber.
It's like the room before the big hall, you know what I mean? You're going to wait in the antechamber. They're all having polite company in the hall, yeah? And you can't just go barge into the hall. You need to find yourself in an orderly manner in the antechamber, and the servant's going to come and make sure you're all orderly and respectable and right before they let you into the main chamber at the host's will. You get me?
Okay.
You might have to wait in that antechamber for time. Just keep you waiting there, you know what I mean? That bloody count keeping you waiting in his damn antechamber all the time.
What I'm noticing here is, like, I don't know anyone rich enough to have an antechamber.
Well, it's all the aristocracy,
Like,
all
just-
the
Yeah, that's
loads
what
of
I
the
mean.
Russian novels I wrote about the aristocracy, and
We-
loads of the French novels and everything.
If you're anything like me, guys, we just have a porch. Like, there is no antechamber.
There you go. That's
I
it.
mean, I deliver to houses that have antechambers, I'm pretty sure. But, yeah, anyway. Antedate?
Antedate, as opposed antedate.
I know, I feel like this is too easy. I kind of want to be like, define.
I'm just not bothering to date it. I'm very anti-dating.
To be or occur at an earlier date than.
All right, okay, anti-date. Oh, sorry, yes, I had ANTI in my mind. Anti
To
was
give
still on anti.
something a date that is earlier than the actual date. So
Makes sense, yeah.
if you back in the day, right, if you had a baby, and then the marriage certificate came through, and it was only 3 months before the baby was born, you might antedate that marriage certificate so that you could live a life respectably with your family and friends.
Wow, there we go.
Anyway, antediluvian.
Before the flood.
Okay, yeah.
Diluvian,
Belonging
deluge,
to the ages
right?
before the biblical flood, or just old-fashioned now as well. But yeah, really cool. Antelope.
That crazy creature.
Antenatal. Antenna. Antepenultimate. Third from last.
Third from last. Oh, right, okay. Yeah,
Anything that is third from last.
Antepenultimate,
It's a
right?
bit
I'll
much
try
of one,
find a way
that,
to do
isn't it? Like,
Alright,
you know.
kids, this is going to be your antepenultimate handspring.
Anti-post.
So that's what? How does that work?
So anti-post.
Just right before the end. Yeah.
Placed before the runners in a race are confirmed. So, of a bet. So like a bet placed before the runners in a race. So you like just betting that you might bet someone's going to win and they might not even end up in the race because you're that eager to bet. You're just guessing who's going to be in.
Right.
Like me saying Harry's going to be the next king. Right? You know, we got no clue. So, where were we? Anterior, we've been through that one already. Anteroom. It's like a antechamber, actually. Anthem. I think I quite like anthems. It's an interesting one.
That tune's anthemic.
A song of loyalty or devotion. A piece of music for a choir, usually set to words from the Bible.
Anthem?
Yeah.
Wow. Say the first one again.
Yeah, a song of loyalty or devotion.
Song of loyalty or devotion. I'm going to write some anthems. I'm pretty sure I have wrote some anthems. I just don't know which ones.
That's interesting. I don't think that's the modern usage of it. I think I don't think many people... But when people think of an anthem, people just think of a really catchy song. I would say. A song that captures a feeling, I would say as well. A song that captures a feeling.
I'm going back to
but
this
not
shit.
necessarily loyalty or devotion at all.
I'm going to write an anthem, yeah, because I'm that gay guy. That heterosexual gay guy. Old school language style, you get me?
Right, okay, yeah. That's the whole point, yeah.
Yeah. I'm happy and carefree, that's me. You know what I mean? I'm gay as they come, I just happen to be heterosexual, you get me?
I'm like, I for a minute I was like, what's he doing? And then I just remembered that's
coming
what
out
the
live
word
on a
means.
podcast.
Wow. So, where were we? Anthem. Anther, as in a bit of a plant. Anthill. Anthology. Something you might produce.
Yeah, go on. So give me the definition right now.
A collection of poems or other literary pieces by various authors.
So I'm doing this right now. My anthology's coming out this summer. Watch out. Say no more about it.
Anthracite. Anthrax.
Anthrax hoax. Who remembers that? Early 2000s. Everyone forgot about that. Everyone remembers 9/11. Everyone forgets the anthrax hoax. Taken off YouTube.
But just if you had to summarise it in without actually having a conversation about it, and you just wanted to
just fear mongering to get us into Iraq. Yeah. Oh no, there's white powder. Oh, they've sent it to all these important people, a media personality, and then someone in the military.
Oh shit!
And
Yeah, that did happen in my childhood.
And they vaccinated everyone.
Yeah.
Against smallpox. That was in like the Republican administration at the time, or something weird, and that. Yeah.
Jesus, yeah, that was some weird shit.
Yeah, and everyone forgets about it, and then you mention it, and everyone still forgets about it. But I think my guy's got the glow right now. Fuck yeah.
Very weird. Right.
Move on. Forget about that. Forget about it. It's better off.
Anthropocentric. Regarding the human being as the most important factor in the universe. I feel like that has more relevance in today's day and age, possibly, than ever. Which is interesting because it also shows how outside the box both of us sort of think, given that I was chatting about how small we've been around for, how limited we are in actually our experience of time and yeah. compared to the dinosaurs. But yeah, that's interesting. We live in an age of anthropocentric individuals.
And the Native Americans work like that. We mentioned Native Americans earlier, and I was on about how they were like a bit more primitive, yeah, but there was a virtue in that. There's a massive virtue in that, yeah.
Anyway, anthropoid, resembling a human being. Anthropology,
Study of man.
Yeah. Anthropomorphism. I like that one.
What is it where you see like, oh, that monkey looks like a guy, oh, you've got a cat-like face, yeah.
Yeah, where you put
projecting human features onto animals or something, right?
or a god, or an animal, or an object. Yeah. Anthropomorphous, shaped like a human being. Anti is a prefix as well. Anti-aircraft. Anti-ballistic missile. That's a missile designed to destroy a ballistic missile in flight. An anti-ballistic missile. I mean, it sounds... Yeah, that's interesting.
Go on, spontaneous test then. Spontaneous test. What's the definition of ballistic?
A large...
As it pertains to like physical properties in the world.
Well, I was going to suggest a large expulsion of kinetic energy. That would have been what I would have guessed at as ballistic.
So
shall I now search?
No, you don't need to search because I'm going to tell you exactly what ballistic means. Yeah, ballistic's like a throwing knife would be a ballistic, right, as a weapon, because once you've thrown it, you've got no control over it. It's gone. Yeah, when you press that trigger and that bullet leaves the gun, you've got no control over it. It's a ballistic.
It's the direction.
Yeah. You could this line right now. Once I've thrown it, it becomes ballistic. Yeah, because I've got no control over it. That's the definition of ballistic. I don't know. You can look it up if you want. Go on.
No, I believe you, because I think and then it makes sense in how people use it to describe emotionally, because it means he's gone off.
Just lost it.
There's
lost
no
it
stopping him.
Yeah.
He's gone.
Ballistic. Yeah. That's why I really like the word ballistic, and that's why I know what it means, because it's a physical word. You know what I mean? And use it for stretching too. There's like ballistic stretching, you know, just throwing your leg up in the air as high as you can. You know what I mean? It's not a dynamic stretch, it's not a static stretch, it's a ballistic stretch.
Okay. Antibiotic. Oh.
Anti-life.
Yeah. A chemical substance capable of destroying bacteria of or relating to antibiotics.
Anti, against. Bio, life.
Yeah, no, I think the one thing that people forget when they say that is that we are composed also of many, many forms of factors. We're supposed to be an ecosystem here. We are supposed to be an ecosystem. We're not just we're not the center of the universe. We are our own universe. Many things, not conscious in the way that we understand consciousness, but many living things live inside us, and that is clearly the problem with antibiotics, is that they don't discriminate between good and bad bacteria. So they don't have a sense of justice. They just are genocide for your internal ecosystem. But less said the better. Antichrist. This anti thing is read Good Omens, good book. Neil Gaiman, Terry Pratchett. Yeah, read Good Omens. All about the Antichrist. If we're going to say something positive on the subject, we may as well. Anticipate. Anticipation.
Anticipation fucks everything up, right? But it's like, oh man, just like, yeah. Oh, it's so disappointing.
I think it's interesting because anticipation is quite a neutral word. It's quite I would say it's
not like
anodyne compared to anxiety.
Yeah.
Because anticipation, if you look on it negatively, becomes anxiety, and if you look on it favourably, becomes excitement.
Well, yeah, I'm pacing the room if I've got anxiety, right? But if I'm anticipating something, I might just be living right in anticipation of something. Like, I've got a competition coming up, I'm doing all the right things in anticipation of that,
Are you anticipating it, or are you anxious about it? Are you excited about it?
If I'm anxious about it, I probably can't eat because I'm so anxious about it. You know, if I'm anticipating it, I'm probably eating food in anticipation of the activity I'm going to do there. Very soft, neutral word, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
And if you're excited about it, you're going to win.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess, yeah. So we should turn our anxieties and anticipations into excitement as much as we can. Maybe? I don't know. Anyway, anti-clerical. I quite like that, actually, because I think that's very a positive statement, opposed to the power and influence of the clergy in politics. Makes sense, huh?
Yeah.
Anticlimax.
Yes, that's what's bad about the anticipation, isn't it? When you get to the anticlimax, you're like, damn.
I suppose that is one. If you don't get excited, you don't get disappointed. So then, by that logic, do you think people that are anxious get like when they go and something's really good, or do you think they just ruin it for themselves all the time? But like, is there an anxious person that is like a bit anxious and then they get there and they're like, "This is mint." I don't know.
It just sounds like me with work all the time. Constantly anxious about it, and then I'm there and it's never a problem. But I'm always anxious about it, but it's never a problem.
Ooh. Anticline.
Anticline.
Yeah, do you want to try to find that? I guess. A
No,
fold.
spell it, and then.
Okay.
Oh no, you've already gone.
Yeah, I'm halfway there, I
You've
suppose.
already gone.
A fold of rock raised up into a broad arch so that the strata slope down on both sides. So, a fold of rock raised up into a broad arch so that the strata slope down. So like the opposite of a valley, really.
All right. Okay.
You know, like a ridge, sort of. Yeah. So yeah, interesting. Anti-clockwise. Anticoagulant. Ooh, a substance that prevents the clotting of blood. That's nice. Antics.
Knew that.
Anticyclone.
They all want anticyclone.
Area of moving air of high pressure in which the winds rotate outwards. So like instead of sucking you in, instead of like it's a cyclone but it blows you away.
Next.
Antidepressant.
Next.
Yeah.
The less said, the better.
Antidote. Antifreeze. Antigen.
Antigen. What's an antigen?
A substance, usually a toxin, that causes the body to produce antibodies. Interesting. Anti-hero?
Anti-hero, motherfucker, Travis Bickle.
Who?
Travis Bickle. Taxi driver. Guy with a mohawk. You're looking at me. You must be.
Oh,
You're
okay.
looking at me, motherfucker.
Yeah. When you said taxi driver, I was just like, well, I'm supposed to know every taxi driver. What do you mean? You'd have been better off saying like Robert De Niro. Yeah, that would have been, yeah.
Let's go see 1976. Was it 75? Bernard Herrmann on the score. They cannot touch
This is
it.
what's really interesting about you, because although you don't follow pop culture, you have so many pop culture references.
Because I was obsessed with pop culture, and that's why I got to turn my back on it and just ignore it all. Because my whole life I was obsessed with it, and it wasn't making me happy. I stopped paying attention to it, and I was so much happier.
Antihistamine. I need them.
Yeah, what is it?
Hay fever.
Sneezing and hay fever and
Stop
that. Yeah.
my hay fever. Anti-knock. I didn't. A substance
Oh no, go on. Sorry, no.
added to motor fuel to reduce knocking in the engine caused by too rapid combustion. Anti-knock. Antimacassar. A cloth put over the back of a chair to prevent it getting dirty.
Wow.
Macassar, just an interesting one here. Anti plus macassar, which is oil.
Oh, like an oilcloth, right? Yeah.
Antimatter.
Is that where it come from?
All to play for in the future, antimatter. Antimony.
What's antimony?
A silvery white metallic element that is added to alloys to increase their strength.
Right. Antimony.
No, I've never heard of that before. Antinomy.
Antinomy. Spell it now.
Antinomy.
No, what is it?
So, this is a weird one to be honest. Contradiction between two laws or principles that are reasonable in themselves.
Wow.
I think that's quite interesting as well, isn't it? Because it's
Very interesting.
It's very specific. That
Yeah. It's literally it's like that's where you should focus your line of inquiry, right? You have these two things that sound really reasonable, yeah, and then there's some confusion somewhere, yeah. Let's look there. Why are they conflicting? Why do these things vary?
Yeah, because I feel
What's
like
the reasons behind it?
too much antinomy in the world today, right? Like there's too many laws and principles that are reasonable
conflict.
in themselves, but
Or conflict, yeah.
conflict.
Because they don't take into. Yes.
So we're not looking.
They don't look at the broad picture.
The antimony enough. If you notice that,
The trend
we
towards.
should point it out, talk about it, look at why that is the case.
Yes, because there's a trend towards specialisation and not generalisation, and yeah, man, that's it. Balance the books up with that antinomy.
It's a heavy weight when it's not in
So
your
look-
hands. It feels like it's like a pleasure and a power to have it in your hands. When it's in your hands, it feels like it's a weight to have. You know, the challenge is you to read it, right?
Yeah, man. What's this? So we're nearly at an hour. Go on, we'll do one more page or something.
As I say, there was probably about 20 minutes on the start, just explaining concepts and getting the idea that we were going to do it like that.
Oh
so.
yeah, cool. Wicked. Nice. All right, so it's shit because it's just anti. It's anti everything.
No,
but-
this anti is we don't like
Whatever.
it. Anti.
No, actually, it's better because it's anti, but it's just all those different concepts in that. So let's try to pull some out.
True. It's interesting though because this is kind of we did start off by saying about how there are far too many negative ways to frame things in the English language, and I think it's quite important to say here. This is quite, and why are we just whacking anti in front of like a million different things and having to face horrific word after horrific word? I mean, yeah, prefixes exist. That's part of language, but I don't think we need to put anti in front of quite as many. And he says before realising that we're going to get to a page of non and a page of, I don't know, eerie, and there'll be all sorts of them now. Do you think anti will be the worst one? Where are the positive? What's the opposite of anti? Because we could go to the opposite of anti. There isn't really one, is there? But if we could go to the opposite of anti, I bet we wouldn't find so many words.
You can't be an object. No, because the idea of anti is that it just takes something and flips it. You can't flip the anti of anti because it just returns back to it or something. You know what I mean? I'm not explaining.
What did the anti? What exactly was the first anti? What did it say? Just.
But it doesn't matter. It's just what.
Because it's just having such a dominating effect here. Where's the first one? There.
Anti.
Right. Opposed to.
A party, policy, or attitude.
Ah, no, but it's
No,
prefix. Right.
Against or opposed to. So you can't be against or opposed to opposition. No, yeah, you can.
So it's opposite, and no, but because it's also counteracting.
What's-
Opposite and counteracting. Jesus.
What's the word I'm looking for? My brain breaks down when I think about double negatives and shit.
Well, that's
My
it.
brain
We don't
really
need.
breaks down when I
We
think
don't
about
need
double
one negative,
negatives.
let alone two.
Ha ha ha, yeah. Watch out. Alright, look, it's a anti-novel. A type of prose fiction in which the conventional elements of the novel are rejected. Yeah, you've probably seen something like an anti-novel coming from me, probably. It's my debut work. Anti-nuclear, antioxidant, antiparticle, antipasta, antipathy. It's a nice little word, isn't it? It's a horrible thing, but it's a nice word.
Strong dislike or hostility. I didn't even. Oh right, okay.
Antipathy. Anti-personal, antiperspirant, antiphon. A hymn sung in alternate parts by two groups of singers, right? Antipodes. Yeah, what's this? Antipode.
Antipodes.
Antipodes.
I just have to say I don't know on that.
Any two places that are situated diametrically opposed, diametrically opposite one another on the Earth's surface. So, Australia and New Zealand. Any two places that are situated diametrically opposite one another on the Earth's surface, antipodes. Any two places that are... Alright, okay, whatever. Antiperp. A perp set up in opposition to the chosen by
it
church
means the
authority.
antipodes Australia and New Zealand in comparison to where we are, doesn't it? In general, right?
What, as in England?
Yeah.
If you dig, you get to Australia.
Yeah. Or New Zealand, depending on probably a 5-degree angle.
Oh, right, yeah, okay, I got it. Yeah. Okay, I got it, yeah, so the North Pole's, the North Pole's the antipode of the South Pole.
Yeah, it should be.
That's what it should say in the dictionary. That'd be...
Yeah, because that is not the most helpful definition, that one, to be honest.
Collins, you're fucking up. We're getting the OED for the next round. We're gonna do 26. You know what I mean? But we're getting the OED for the next round. Fuck you, Collins. You failed me. You've actually failed me loads of times, Collins. Though, for real. Gone to look up words and they're not here. You know what I mean?
Alas.
Yes. Right. All right. So.
Yeah, we didn't rep the dictionary enough at the start. We're gonna have to. That'll have to be a thing between the series.
Yeah. Antipyretic, reducing fever. A drug that reduces fever. Blah blah blah. Antiquarian. It's nice, isn't it? That'd be an interesting job to have, to be an antiquarian, just dealing old shit. Yeah. Antiquated, love that word. Really love that.
like it. Antiquated stuff.
That's some antiquated shit, man. Everyone, my guy tries telling me, my guy just dabs, yeah. Like, he got some crazy little tech thing or something, some blowtorch, and he puts like some wax on it, some like THC shit, yeah. And he thinks smoking's antiquated. Yo. Antique, iniquity. Yeah. Antiquities, love that. We've got a lot of antiquities in London that should be somewhere else.
Antiquity.
Antiquities. Antiquity. A great age. Far distant past. Antiquity. What's this? A policy of challenge. Oh, anti-racism. I was gonna read it like anti-racism.
Antiracism.
Antiracism. Yeah, that's what I was gonna try to say. Anti-racism. Oh god, so that's like some flower. No, I don't care about that. Anti-scorbutic. Or preventing or curing scurvy. Break that word down for me.
What? Anti.
Yeah.
Antiscorbutic.
Anti-scorbutic.
Antiscorbutic. No,
Break it down.
couldn't tell you where it's from. That's like
So what is it? What does it say?
anti-scorbutic.
Yeah, read the definition.
So it's preventing or curing scurvy.
What prevents or cures scurvy?
Like lemons and shit. Lemon.
What's in the lemon?
Apples and. Oh, vitamin C.
What's the name?
Oh, absorbic acid.
Ascorbic acid.
Right.
We got it.
Okay. Got that.
Break down the words. Yo, so anti-Semitic.
But does it? Does synthetic vitamin C prevent scurvy?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Okay.
It does a cracking job at it. Anti-Semitic, discriminate against Jews. It's not right, is it?
Well,
Anti-Semitic, discriminating against Jews.
it is.
It's not right.
No, yeah, I feel like this is one.
No. I'm sorry. I don't know. The Palestinians are Semites, aren't they? It's people of that region are called the Semites, but people always aim at the Jews.
It is to discriminate against Jews. I know what you mean, but the way that word is, that is the way it's. I've literally. It is.
Semite. They were Listen, I'm the Don. Don't test.
No, the problem is,
Wait,
right?
listen. A Semite, a member of the group of peoples who speak a Semitic language, such as the Jews and Arabs. Yeah? It means a descendant of Shem, eldest of Noah's sons or something, yeah?
Yeah,
Jews and Arabs.
But
So when it says Semitic, it says Jews and Arabs. When it says anti-Semitic, it says Jews.
yeah, because it means Jews as a nation, not a race. I've looked into this today. Thank you, Keora.
No. Because KR is misleading you as well, because this comes down to the fundamental piece of it.
Because Jews
How can you tell
are
me
a
that?
nation and a race, and it means the nation of Jews, but not necessarily the Jews that are in Israel, but the Jews that subscribe to the idea of being,
Josh, I'm so sorry.
which
listen.
is all the religious Jews anyway.
I'm so sorry. Listen, yeah,
And then like
I got you, but we just read it in the dictionary. What's a Semite? We just read it in the dictionary. What's a Semite?
as well, I know I get it. Yeah.
And we just went through how anti is just the opposition of something. So we just read the dictionary, yeah, and we read Semite, and it says it's Jews and Arabs, but when it says anti-Semite, it just mentions Jews. Because the Jews have took this trope of anti-Semitism to mean just them. And I'm not saying anti-Semitism is a real thing, yeah, I know it. Or anti-Jewish sentiment and anti-Zionistic sentiment. Let's not get into it. We're not getting into it. All I'm telling you is, Collins saw fit, yeah, to put the definition of anti into their dictionary, right? But when they were doing the definitions, Semite says one thing, but anti-Semite only refers to half of the thing. Political agenda in the words. Collins, we got you. Am I wrong?
You say I want to say you're not wrong, but yeah, at the same time, I have a fear
In
that someone may judge you as anti-Semitic.
Terribly. They will, terribly, and there's a whole army of them out there to do it, yeah? But what we're talking about, Josh, is we're doing this so people think clearly. And I just said something very clearly to you that's absolute fact and evident. It just happened right now in front of everyone's eyes. Everyone saw it, yeah? It's the Collins Dictionary. You've got to go refer to it. Obviously, people got to take it on faith that I'm not just lying, you know? Because even these people that would want to call me an anti-Semite would probably say I did this whole thing just to say that or something crazy. It's just some of that stumbled up along the way. Just making a point. Alright, okay, so we can move on from it, because we haven't got any agenda, so we can move on from
I think we just need to move on.
it. Yeah. So antiseptic. Bring some antiseptic, this could get hectic. Woo! Anti-serum, antisocial. Bigging up Quest, Silky, J5, rest of the gang. Yeah, man. Antisocial behaviour order, Asper, anti-static, anti-tank, boring, antithesis.
I'm quite surprised you didn't stop on Asper. Just for a little bit, but yeah.
Asper 001. Love from Perks.
I do like antithesis, so.
Antithesis is a great word, right? Yeah, listen, I think we've got to wrap it up. I think we should just end it on that controversial shit.
You want to go to the end of the page?
We'll go. I did half the page, so you do the other half.
Oh, okay. Where are we? Antithesis. I like that. The exact opposite. That's yeah.
And anti-Semite should have been the antithesis of Semite, but it wasn't for some reason.
Ooh, that's super interesting. The placing together of contrasting ideas or words to produce an effect of balance,
What's
such as where God's command mere mortals must obey. I think that's in, you know, so not just the exact opposite, but the placing together or contrasting of ideas or words to produce an effect of balance. So, for example, then the statement,
right,
where God's command mere mortals must obey. I feel like you must have created many statements of antithesis I bet they all just are escaping you at this moment in time, so don't let me push you on that.
Thank you. But yeah, absolutely 100% right. Yeah, that's pretty central to my way of thinking.
Antitoxin, anti-trades.
We're gonna get out of all this anti-crap soon.
Winds blowing in the opposite direction from and above the trade winds.
Who knows, who knows, who knows? I just go where the trade wind blows. Sending out to my friends and foes. Yeah.
Antitrust of
Big up
laws
the Ira vibes guy.
opposing business monopolies. Antitrust.
Antitrust, I heard it a million times. Antitrust lawsuit, I've heard it 100,000 times and took no interest in it ever.
Antivirus.
McAfee.
Antler.
Antler, big up the moose. Shakes off its antlers, goes about its business.
Yeah, man. Antonym.
Antonym?
Yeah, I feel like you should know this one, so I'm just going to challenge.
Spell.
Antonym.
No, go again, sorry.
Antonym.
Oh.
An antonym.
Antonym.
So
No,
it's
not
because
there.
you'll get yourself a
I will
thing.
kick myself.
A word that means the opposite of another. An antonym.
Antonym.
Yeah, the opposite of your
Pseudonym,
antonyms and similes.
Synonyms.
Antonyms and
pseudonym.
similes. You go to a thesaurus for antonyms and similes. Do you? Yeah.
Say it again, because I just got so deep in my disappointment.
You go to a thesaurus for similes, right? Primarily,
Mhm.
but you also get antonyms in the thesaurus quite often.
All right.
You get similes and antonyms,
All right. Yeah.
I think. Antrum. A natural cavity, especially in bone. I like that at the
I
end.
should have known that one.
I like that one, yeah, especially in bone. Anubis. I like Anubis. He was the bad boy
Anubis, yeah.
of the Egyptian gods. Anus.
Fresh.
I'm going to read that one. The opening at the end of the alimentary canal through which feces are discharged.
Okay, yeah.
Like people need to, not laugh at me. Anvil. Anvil. Why do we not have anvils? Why do we not have blacksmiths anymore? Like, why do we? I mean, I think in a different time I could have been a blacksmith.
One of my favourite stories is there was this heavyweight boxer, and I'm forgetting his fucking name or whatever, but back in this era and that, like, and
Fisticuffs.
and
Pugilism.
pugilism, yeah. And you look at all the pictures of all the champions at the time, yeah, and then you see this fucking skinny guy, and you're like, what the fuck's going on with him, yeah? And you see him like this, yeah, and you see a picture of him, like, what the fuck's going on? And then you see a picture of his back, and you're like, oh, I see what was going on. And the guy was a blacksmith, yeah, so he's hammering every single goddamn day, using all those muscles in his back, yeah. And the punch this guy must have had was like incredible, because just throwing hammers around, you know what I mean? And he got to be the heavyweight champion.
Just be like, your face, it's no iron.
It's winding me up. I nearly want to pull out the book and that and have a look. Kings of the Ring, I can see it right there, I'll leave it alone.
Where were we? Anxiety. No, we did talk about that already, so we don't need to really talk about how it makes you anxious. Any. There's a lot to that. I don't know if I should maybe read any, because any is there's loads to this. One, some, or several, no matter how much or what, even the smallest amount, or even one, whatever, or whichever, an indefinite or unlimited amount or number, and to even the smallest extent. There's a lot in it.
Any, right, yeah.
But anyway, anybody, anyhow, anyone, anything, anyway.
Anywho. It's not real, is it?
No.
It's not real.
Anywhere.
It is real, I just said it. Anywhere, yep.
Anzac?
Hey,
Anzac?
excuse me.
Type of biscuit? Anzac, also a soldier serving with the Australian and New Zealand Army Corps. Because it's nicknamed after a biscuit from New Zealand.
Wow.
I wonder if they ever called British soldiers a teacup or something.
Of course they do. Of course they do.
And Anzac Day is a public holiday in Australia and New Zealand commemorating the Anzac landing at Gallipoli in 1915. And I feel like that makes sense to being a real thing because I've seen it on Bluey.
Oh, what? Sorry.
Bluey.
Bluey?
That's a kids' TV show
Oh,
from
right.
New Zealand about a family of dogs. It's cool, man. It's not just for kids.
Was Blue's Clues a dog?
Hmm?
There's like Blue's Clues, wasn't there? Was Blue's Clues a dog? No? Am I just getting that totally twisted?
I've not heard of Blue's Clues.
Or Clifford the Big Red Dog? No, no.
Clifford the Big Red Dog is a kid's dog.
Yeah, I'm just pulling shit out. All right, wicked. So I think that was well good, really.
Yeah,
For a first
just having
iteration,
a little,
it's pretty sweet.
just a little vibe.
So I'm trying to think of a word. I was trying to.
Oh, you know when you were talking about boxer, did I tell you that thing about Muhammad Ali? About his name, you know Muhammad Ali was Cassius Clay.
Don't mess around.
Do you know who Cassius? Did you ever know anything about Cassius Clay? Like who the guy? So he got rid of his slave name, Cassius Clay, to become Muhammad Ali, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Cassius Clay was an abolitionist. He was abolitionist his namesake, the guy, was in like the civil wars before. He was
So you should have kept the name, really.
Get this though. He wasn't just an abolitionist, right? He was an abolitionist, and he was one of the most badass people, just in general as well. So he was an abolitionist, and he was having a speech on an embankment, right? This guy comes and tries to assassinate him, runs up and stabs him. So the guy picks him up, cuts his ear off, right? Fucking lets him bleed out, and then like throws him into the river to bleed out. Like, but it was something more barbaric. Like, cuts his ear off and did something else to him, and then throws him in the river to bleed out, like with a knife wound.
God.
Like was it a knife wound or was it a bullet wound? But it was savage. It was just savage. But anyway, so it's quite ironic then that name was thrown away to become Muhammad Ali.
Right. Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things.
Well.
Yeah. So I thought it was a little, that's your sort of fact, right?
I should have known that.
Interesting
I should have
little
known
one.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I do. Wicked.
Big ups. Thank you for coming around to do this. I appreciate it. It's nice. I like spreading knowledge.
Yeah, man.
It's all law.
Yeah, man.
It's all law.
Yeah, man.
It's all law.
Yeah, man.
It's all law.